Wash your hands, wash your feet, run to the table and grab a seat. Not so fast. Be sure you wash well, or you'll be turned around and made to go back and do it again. Hi, this is Barry Foltz with 10-Minute Torah, day number 2, the Torah portion Tisa. We're going to continue now in the book of Exodus, Shemot, chapter number 30, and we're going to begin with verse number 17. The word says, "And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, and you shall make a basin of bronze with its stand also of bronze for washing. You shall put it between the tent of appointment and the slaughter place, and shall put water in it. And Aaron and his sons shall wash from it their hands and their feet. When they go into the tent of appointment, or when they come near to the slaughter place to attend, to burn an offering made by fire to Yahweh, they wash with water, lest they die. They shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. And it shall be a law forever to them, to him and his seed throughout their generations." So Yah is very serious about what we might relegate to mere ceremony or ritual, but Yah is very particular here. He intends to keep their hands, their doing, their feet, their going clean and set apart. The phrase from Hebrew here is kior nachoshet. Kior referencing then this large basin made of copper, and nachoshet, often translated bronze or brass. It's really more copper here. So there's an understanding that this large basin is filled with water, and from it, whether it's just pulling up water out of it and washing your hands or so forth, or whether, as some have devised, a spigot system out of it, however it operated, they washed their hands, they washed their feet, and did so on a frequent basis. It was deadly not to do so. What's interesting here is nachoshet. It is from the same root that we get the word translated snake or serpent, nachash. What's also interesting then is nachash is very similar to a separate word, nashach, which means bitten. The two are related. Snakes bite. And so there is this washing of the water upon the hands and the feet, lest we hear the enticing words of the nachash, the serpent, and allow them to bite us, devour us, and promote then, by its poison, our evil inclination. All of us have this evil inclination. Those born again have a righteous inclination, a desire to do what is right. All of us, though, we struggle with this evil inclination. It is that part of us that is flesh. And, Hasatan doesn't even have to be around in the room. We can deceive our own selves, James or Yaakov chapter 1 says, and we're lured and enticed by our own fleshly desires. And so there is then this necessity of washing. Now, immediately we should think perhaps of Ephesians chapter 4, and there we read from chapter 4, it says, verse 25 and 26, "Husbands, love your wives as Messiah also did love the assembly and gave himself for it, in order to set it apart and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word." This word has the ability to be a copper basin that you can wash your hands, your doing, and wash your feet, your going. Yah has an ability to take this word and permeate our mind and promote by its love and its passion, its encouragement, not its poison, to promote our righteous inclination. If your evil inclination is being promoted because of a serpentine lie that has poisoned you and it's pushing up evil desires, you got to wash. You got to get this out. The cure for the poison of the serpent is the word. In Luke chapter 4, when the serpent began to tempt Yeshua, he responded with the word. Now, where did they get the water? They're in the wilderness. It's a desert setting. Where did they get the water? The water was flowing from Mount Horeb, also known as Mount Sinai. Moshe had gone, taken the rod of Elohim, smote the side of the rock, out of it poured water. And so the symbolism here is that the water for the washing of the priesthood came or was resourced from the riven side of the Messiah. That's profound, and I just had to chew on that for today. So out of Yeshua's riven side poured blood and water. Both are cleansing, atoning, purifying agents. And out of him comes forth his word that brings to us washing and cleansing. Now, what's also interesting is the word kior. It's rooted in the word kur, K-O-O-R, if you would, kur, which references a furnace, but not just a furnace to heat the house. We're talking in particular about a smelting furnace. This is the furnace device that causes ore of various types to be melted down until the metals contained in it can be extracted. And so we go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter number 20, and verse 8 and 9. He says, "For when I speak, I cry out, proclaiming violence and ruin, because the word of Yahweh has made me a reproach and a derision daily. Whenever I said, let me not mention him, nor speak in his name again, it was in my heart like a burning fire shut up in my bones. And I became weary of holding it back, and I was helpless." In the book of Isaiah, chapter number 48, verse number 10 says, "See, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have chosen you in the furnace of affliction." Well, gee, thanks, Yah. Why would you want to afflict us and impose upon us pain and suffering? Well, it's not the pain and suffering so much as it is the heat of the moment that will either stir up the passions that are connected to the evil inclination when we lash out, yell at people, blame somebody else for our difficulties, or we allow the waters of refreshing, healing, and atonement, cleansing and purifying from the word, then to begin to promote the righteous inclination where we speak shalom even to our adversaries, doing as hard as it seems what Yeshua said, turning the other cheek. In the book of 1 Peter, 1 Kefa, chapter number 1, verse 6 and 7 says, "In which you exult, even though for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by manifold trials, in order that the proving of your belief, much more precious than gold that perishes and proven by fire, might be seen or might be found to result in praise and respect and esteem at the revelation of Yeshua Messiah." Your belief is going to be challenged. You're going to be pushed and shoved about whether what you believe is so or not. In chapter number 4 of the same book, verse 12, "Beloved ones, do not be surprised at the fiery trial that is coming upon you to try you as though some unusual matter has befallen you. But as you share in Messiah's sufferings, rejoice, in order that you might rejoice exultingly at the at the revelation of his esteem." Fiery trials, hardships, trying times, pressures, all these come upon everybody. As believers in Messiah, it would times be seen to us as only on us. No, the whole world's being put through pressure. Everyone's being tried. Everyone's being contracted, oppressed. It's all around and enough to go around for everybody. But the righteous are the ones who have the ability to persevere, to overcome, and to come out shining and refined and washed and clean. Everyone's washing hands and feet and running to try to get their place at a table of prominence and ability, wanting to be fed and catered to. The redeemed we wash thoroughly. We make sure that there's no spot, wrinkle, or blemish upon our garments. we're thoroughly cleansed, so that when we sit at the Father's table, we're accepted and He delights in us. You're delighted in. We'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, shalom.